The time is here, everybody. The San Antonio Home and Garden Show takes place this weekend, and if you're looking to spruce up your outdoor space, our next guest may just have the tips you need, as he is an avid backyard gardening content creator. Please welcome Texas garden guy Dustin Nowak. Good morning.
Good morning.
We need you, Dustin. You are here right in time. We are getting a big freeze this weekend, and you're going to be giving us some tips in just a few seconds. But first, you are blowing up on social media. How did you get into this?
I was already doing the gardening stuff, but when COVID hit, everybody got real excited to start gardening and growing their own food. And so I picked up the camera and started recording the stuff I was already doing, and people loved it, so it just took off.
I love it. I love that you are bringing something for the people in just such an easily accessible way. Now, you're going to be at the San Antonio Home and Garden Show this weekend, giving people some tips you're about to give us. What can they expect out there?
Yeah, not only are they going to see me talking gardening, I'll be there Friday and Saturday talking about gardening at 3 and 5, but we're also going to have, local vendors and, people from San Antonio showing you how to improve your house, improve your landscape, and improve your gardening.
I love it. So what are your tips for somebody who is getting into gardening, maybe getting the transition between the winter and the spring, kind of understanding that transition?
Right. It's almost spring here in San Antonio. It doesn't feel like it this morning, but we're almost here in spring, so it's time to get started. And what I tell people is get started with something small. If you like tomatoes, grow tomatoes. So we got some tomato seeds here, some seed starting trays, all kinds of different varieties. You don't have to go and get all fancy with trays if you don't want to. I always tell people to save your Olive Garden leftover trays, especially because they have the lids and they work as humidity domes. You just throw your seeds in here, cover it with a plastic lid, water, and you're good to go.
That's really neat. So when we have really cold temperatures like this, it doesn't mean that you can't start gardening.
100%.
Do you have any tips when it comes to the soil people should choose?
Yes, so I always recommend if you're going to start seeds, get a seed starting mix because it's going to be a finer consistency. Regular potting soil can be a little chunkier, so the seeds can kind of get lost in the shuffle. So use a quality seed starting mix whenever you're getting started.
That's great advice. And when it comes to what produce we should be choosing, is there a certain type of produce?
Start with stuff you're going to eat. So if you don't like it, don't grow it. If you don't like tomatoes, don't grow tomatoes. If you don't like peppers, don't grow peppers. Start with stuff you're going to eat because it's a waste of time if you're not.
That's great advice. And so as we get this freeze that's coming in this weekend, do you recommend people bring their plants inside? How do we keep them alive?
Well, if they're outside right now, they're probably already dead. But I do recommend that if you have shrubs in your front yard and they look really rough, hold off, wait, give them a little bit more time because you'd be surprised what will come back after the freeze. You'll see a little bit of life coming back. So don't go yanking stuff up just yet. And if you have succulents and stuff like that, bring them inside and protect them from the freeze.
That's great advice. And for people at home who are just getting into gardening, who might be like, I don't know if I can keep something alive, what are some produce items that you would say are easy to grow?
Tomatoes are pretty easy. Tomatoes are pretty easy. Here in San Antonio, I know it gets really hot, so it can be a little frustrating, but you can move them to the shade if you keep them in containers. So I always say tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, stuff like that. Start with the basics and start with stuff you're gonna eat.
I love it. And what about for people who are trying to get supplies? Would you recommend maybe a little basic pruning kit, just basic supplies for the garden?
Yeah, I would start off small. I would start small. Don't go out and spend a ton of money on supplies your first year, and go to your local nurseries. I know there's Rainbow Gardens here in San Antonio. Go by there and talk to them hey, what do I need to start out? If I want to grow this, what do I need as starters? Kind of avoid the big box stores because they're going to have a lot of general stuff. We want stuff specific to your area. So check out your local nurseries because those are going to be the experts that'll point you in the right direction.
Dustin, these tips are great. I could talk to you all day about this. I know you're just overflowing with them. But for people who want more tips like this and want more information, they can find you on social media, correct?
Yes, Texas Garden Guy everywhere. You can find me everywhere there's videos allowed on. I'll be posting videos there.
Awesome. And you'll also have, a special offer for people who want to check out the San Antonio Home and Garden Show. It's going to be a $2 coupon, and you just have to go to the SanAntonioSpringHomeShow.com, or you can scan this QR code on your screen. Thank you so much for your time today, Dustin. We really appreciate it.
Anytime, anytime.
All right, everybody. It's all happening at the Alamodome today through Sunday. For tickets and more information, you can visit the SanAntonioSpringHomeShow.com, or you can try to win some tickets right now. We're giving away a family 4-pack to 5 lucky winners. All you have to do is scan the QR code and enter to win 5 random winners will be selected. The contest ends today at noon. Good luck, everybody. I know people are going to want to go out there. Not only do we have garden tips, but there's also stuff for the home. Like I said, just scan that QR code on your screen to potentially win some tickets. All right, everybody, but keep it right here because after the break,